Did you think of moving away? Oh, no, then again, San Francisco. At last, the cult of Frisco!
Start us off. All right, welcome to the Cult of Frisco podcast. My name is Gary Beekler. I am in San Francisco, California, and I am with my co-host Robert Cheary in Stockton, California. Hi, Robert.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning or afternoon.
Good. Good. Yeah. There's no time zone difference between us, but it's good morning, afternoon for Robert and I because it's our lazy day off, and we just grow our beards. That's what we do. Is we sit around and grow our beards. So we had the part 2 of what turned out to be a really great Doctor Who premiere, The Witch is Familiar. Before I get into my ranting and raving, what did you think, Robert?
It was a really good episode. My goodness, what an episode that was. What did you think so or no? Am I alone in this?
No, you're not. You're not. You know, as weird as I was on the internet, looking at the trolls, and it seems, if you go on the internet, it seems 50-50 split, but if you talk to like real folks, everybody pretty much across the board loved it. And it really should have been, in my opinion, if there's two gripes I have. There's two major gripes. Well, no, one's a major gripe that almost made me hate it, but I looked past it. But I'm actually going back because I'm a big fat nerd and I had a day off today, and I'm re-editing the 2 episodes into one full one, which I will put somewhere where I can share. I'm not going to put it on the internet for officially because it's illegal. But
right.
Anybody who wants it, I'll give you a link and you can go and watch it. Pretty much seamless. I've only cut out 2 minutes of the episode. I've rearranged a couple things for them so they make sense. But I ran it as an hour and 5-minute movie, and it like plays so rad. But I don't know. What was your favorite thing about the episode? What made it great for you, Robert?
I like the entire exchange between the Doctor and Davros. It seemed to go on for most of the episode. Really, it was mostly a lot of dialogue, and that's what I liked most about it. It was Davros and the Doctor just connecting to each other. It was really good. And another part I really enjoyed was Missy putting Clara into the Dalek.
Yes.
I almost thought they were going to keep her in the Dalek and kind of make her souffle girl.
What a awesome throwback, and also kind of I love that Moffat really never liked before to draw on the past too much. People say that he does, but I totally disagree. I think his first 2 seasons especially, he really tried to break from Tennant and didn't even go back to his own episodes. But I love Asylum of the Daleks. I don't care. As a matter of fact, I premiered that in my store. I don't know if you were there that day. That was like our first TV party. Didn't go off without a hitch. Had a bunch of technical problems, but we showed it and everybody was just like, how do you beat that? And it ended up being the best episode of season 7. And it ended up still, to this day, I think Clara's best performance as Clara. I kind of was hoping we would get that companion. And what was different about her was she wasn't uptight Clara. She was like kind of flirty. I don't know, maybe it's the inner sexist in me that likes it, but I just loved her in that. She's grown on me since then, but That scene, it really started out funny, and then it got creepy real fast.
Right. Yes.
And
Where Missy's putting her into the
Dalek, yeah.
Yeah.
And it just goes back to that whole the reveal in Asylum of the Daleks when Clara's in the Dalek and you find out that they just really one of the darkest scenes in Doctor Who history. They cut her to pieces and made her a Dalek. I mean, there was a little Clara head, and just imagine it. If you want to get like really technical, there was a little Clara head in there, probably all chopped up, and and gross, and but the tons of review. What did you think about basically not changing the history, because Doctor Who's been around for 52 years, but we still know very little about the actual Doctor himself and the Daleks. We actually know more about the Daleks now, but what an awesome reveal with the exterminate. Like, exterminate is how they recharge their weapons. When they repeat exterminate, it's them recharging their weapons, and there's certain words they can't say, so it doesn't get translated out, like stuff like they put it out like, you're different from me. It says exterminate. I love you. Exterminate. I don't like you. Exterminate. Whatever doesn't fit into their vocabulary, it just turns out to be exterminate, which automatically charges their weapons, which was incredible. I thought that was awesome. It was awesome. Yes. There's like, old show fans are really complaining about that, like, a lot. But again, this is the internet, so that's 1/10 of 1,000%, so whatever. And what you said, like, between the Julian Bleach, who played Davros, and Peter Capaldi's acting together it was two pros at work. And Capaldi really is like he's a different actor from last season. I mean, it's really, his performance was I mean, not that it sucked, but did you know Capaldi is a Oscar winner?
No.
He had he won an Oscar for a short film back in probably early 90s, I think it was. I was shocked to hear, Oscar winner Peter Capaldi. But so, dude, what? Tell me else. What besides liking it? What about it did you like?
What about it?
Yes.
like you said, the exchange between Peter Capaldi and Davros, really, that whole scene where Davros said, "Let me look at you with my own eyes." That it reminded me of and Darth Vader taking off his mask and looking at Luke, which was very weird. I wonder if they're going to do more of the Doctor and young Davros history there. That's
a very good question, because this was built up as being the Doctor and Davros's last meeting. Oh, you were talking about, you speculating on like if we're going to get more of Davros, and they had pumped this up as that it being their final meeting, but we did not see the Daleks or Davros die. Spoiler warning, and by the way, when Robert and Harry and I do any of these episodes, we've assumed you have watched them. I don't know why you'd want to watch a review without watching the movie, unless you're afraid you know what? Hey, I understand, like, some people want to watch a review to see if it's worth their time. Time is valuable. So, but we're going to spoil a few things, okay? And one of the big... the internet is having the most problem with how the Doctor got out of this. And it was basically that Daleks don't die. When they become useless, they are thrown into the sewer. So sewer and graveyard are the same thing. And basically what happens is, and again, another thing we don't do in these podcasts is we don't like just run over the plot. Again, we've assumed you've watched it, so we're going to jump around. I'm not going to. So at the end, the Doctor gets away. Well, Davros tricks the Doctor into basically regenerating him. And he does it by, sounding very sincere. And I think there was some sincerity in his heart. But, I mean, Davros' goal is to kill all the Time Lords. I mean, that's it. I mean, he's got something against the Time Lords. So I think they're, okay, some things got brought up, and let's get to them right now. For one, why they're really ambiguous in the beginning with what war the kid Davros was in. Even the doctor asked him what war is it, and he's all, just the war.
Right.
There's got to be a reason Davros hates the Time Lord so much, besides, the doctor just coming in and interfering and killing a bunch of his Daleks, which could have been it. But I think there's something more to it than that. And Davros also mentioned, and we'll get into this later, Davros is really fascinated with the doctor and gets into his head, and one of the few people who can get into his head. And he brought up something that I've always wondered too, is why did the doctor run from Gallifrey? What was he running from? He's not running like, a hippie kid in the 60s and 70s wants to leave his parents and go to San Francisco from Ohio or something like that. Not that kind of running away, which they've always made it kind of feel like. He's literally running from something. And they made a point before the season, as part of the promotion, is the doctor is running from something. So we're going to find out what he's running from. And we've always assumed it was like an enemy. But what if it's a friend? What if it's something he did? On Gallifrey, and then we'll get to the confession dial. But so the Daleks, roundabout way, the Daleks came back to life by the Davros tricked the doctor into regenerating him, and when he regenerated him, he regenerated all the Daleks. So now all the Daleks have like Time Lord energy in them. Now, he also revived all these quote-unquote dead Daleks that were in the sewers, and they came up and they're like little bits of poo were attacking Daleks, and that's how it ended. But we never saw Davros die. So let's not forget that a bunch of those Daleks probably died, but if one Dalek survives, he can make other Daleks. He can make them out of humans, he can make them out of anything. So this isn't the end of the Daleks. And I loved on the internet seeing people are just like, oh, the Daleks suck and they're a one-dimensional... they're a one-dimensional villain, and I don't want to tell people not to watch something, you know what I mean? But I mean, if you don't like the Daleks, then maybe Doctor Who isn't something you should be watching,
right?
Right.
I didn't get that one-dimensional feel from them at all.
No,
I'm surprised that people even said that.
I wonder if they watched the episode. A lot of people will go off with because
watch the what? I'm sorry.
I'm wondering if they watched this episode, because if they did, this put layers on the Daleks. In my opinion, I think they got deeper. You understood them.
Right. Yes. More creation of the Daleks and the more deep into Davros himself.
Oh yeah, what's their motivation? And their motivation is like they get enjoyment from killing. That's their only enjoyment. So again, I mentioned it 2 podcasts ago. One of my favorite scenes is like when Missy was doing her little monologuing in the first episode, The Magician's Apprentice. And after her monologue, she's all, I can help you, or you can just kill me. And all the Daleks like turned around and looked at the Supreme Leader and, oh, can I kill her? Please, can I kill her? Please. And that was so cool. That said it all right there. So when the Davros and the Doctor were talking, did you catch the whole prophecy?
Yes. The prophecy of the hybrids, correct?
Yes. So what is that?
Well, it's got to be that they're. Was it that they're the regeneration? Is that what makes them hybrids, or are they going to make a Time Lord into a Dalek?
That's a good question.
That's what I was kind of confused on, and they. I'm sorry, you're cutting out.
No, go on, keep talking.
No, just I was confused on that because at the end of the episode too, they Missy was left behind there, so I wonder if that might have something to do with it as well. It's a lot of unanswered questions, really.
Well, yeah, and that's the plot bombs I was talking about. I think they want you to believe. Well, to bring that up just almost in passing, was huge, and it's not like I want to make a half Dalek, half Time Lord. It's the prophecy of a half Dalek, half Time Lord. So believe me, that's happening. Be it this season or following, that might be something that they end Capaldi's run on. That sounds like a big bad to me. But the first belief is that, well, he left Missy there, and Missy...
You froze. What happened?
You're fine. Can you hear? As long as you can hear me, don't worry about the video. Don't let the video...
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Sometimes it cuts out on the audio, too.
Interesting. Because you're not cutting out at all on my side. You're actually clear as a bell. So, can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. So, Missy was left behind to purposely think, okay, well, obviously Missy's going to be the Master's going to be the hybrid Dalek, but they're not going to do that to the Master. They're not going to do that to the Master. I think this is more of getting Gallifrey back into the fold, and the Doctor did address that, and I thought quite logically that Gallifrey is safe from both you and me, and speaking of you and me, Davros and me, the Doctor, and I thought that was well done. It's obvious they're not going to search for Gallifrey. I think he just wanted to know it was safe, and it kind of sucks though, because it goes again. Moffat does this, is he'll set things and then like go away from it. The whole ending of the 50th anniversary special was like, instead of being the lone Time Lord, I now have a mission. I need to find Gallifrey. But then maybe I shouldn't find Gallifrey. But at the end of last season, he was really pissed when he couldn't find Gallifrey. So I'm a little confused on that one. And it's because I think Moffat changes his mind a lot. And I think it is actually time to bring Gallifrey into the fold a little bit. Not much. I think what I would like to have is more Time Lords. You don't have to bring Gallifrey back, but bring back like the Ronnie, or make up a new one, or you've got there's a couple of Time Lords out there that could be interesting, like maybe I'm banking on his name now. We talked about him last episode. I'll put it in the comments on YouTube when I can think of it later. But there's a couple of Time Lords out there that could definitely cause some trouble that have been out there. But yeah, that's a really interesting plot bomb. And then we also don't know what's in the confession dial, and what is it? What leads up to the confession dial? Because I don't think it's Davros.
It's weird. This isn't the first time that the Doctor thought he was going to die, so I'm wondering why this is the only time we've seen him use this. As far as I know, it may have been used previously.
No, it's never been used. Yeah. It's a great idea, but and as I was talking with Harry in last podcast, in Moffat's run, all but one season has been about the Doctor dying. So I mean, they've kind of run that one to death. I mean, like the whole season 6 was him facing his death. And I'm repeating myself, but the whole specials and David Tennant's run was him facing his death. In season 5, he faced his death. It was season 8 where he wasn't, the only time he wasn't in mortal terror. So how's this going to be different? I don't know. I believe this might be Moffat's last run as a full season. They're already, remember we talked about there not being a full season 10. That's pretty much that's going to happen. There's not going to be a full season 10. It's probably going to get split again. And that's nothing new. They split 5, and they split all these last 2 seasons were the first like continuous seasons they've had since season 4. Season 5 was split into 2 pieces with a couple, only like a 4-month break. But I think this one is going to be huge. I don't like it when they do that. But I think they're going to be changing creators on this, and I do think they're going to be changing doctors. I do think this
last season.
Next season will be Capaldi's last. Yeah. I think. It'll be interesting for a change. Is like they should change a doctor in mid-season. You know, instead of beginning and ending a season on it, you know, like, and they kind of did that back in like with the 5th, with the 6th and 7th Doctor. But well, the one thing by the way, is really put together. They were really 2 great episodes. It was super entertaining, great acting. There wasn't really any slow spots. They wrapped up everything pretty neatly. The plot bombs that they left were really fun, and they're fun to speculate on. And I'm glad they didn't wrap everything up. I want Doctor Who to be more serialized. You know, I don't want everything getting wrapped up in one episode. It's not why I watch the show. Hated the sonic sunglasses though. That was like some stupid shit. That
wearable. What do you call it? Wearable
technology. Yeah, because that iWatch is really taken off, isn't it? You know. I don't know why they got rid of the sonic screwdriver. Everybody hated the first time they got rid of the sonic screwdriver with the 5th Doctor. It's, you know, just they'll bring one back eventually. And I just hope they don't go. And if it's a gag, if it's a one-off gag, if it's, you know, I'm going to wear them for a couple episodes, fine. Totally cool.
Right.
And then hopefully somebody will step on his glasses or he'll lose them like everybody does sunglasses. And now
I think the glasses, though, might be his bow tie, right?
I hope not.
Maybe no.
I think they're actually trying that. They need something to distinguish this Doctor, you know, like David Tennant's hair. Bow tie, the flute from the 2nd Doctor. Every Doctor's got his thing. You know, Tom Baker's scarf, but you don't need that with Capaldi. I think Moffat, I think, likes to sometimes fix something that isn't break because he's afraid it's gonna break. You know, shit gets tired. That's why you change Doctor Who. He's changing the show pacing, and that's good. And I know I probably sounded like I didn't like these episodes. I really did. I just hated the sonic sunglasses. It almost pulled me right out of it. I was like, oh, good God, no, it's terrible. But you know what is terrible about them? It's not the sunglasses. It's not like, Ray-Ban Wayfarers. I used to wear those as a kid. Actually, the last pair of sunglasses I had were a very expensive pair of prescription Wayfarer. And I lost them, and I will not be getting any new Wayfarers because of this Capaldi Doctor Who. It looks like an old guy trying to be cool. That's what it looks like. You know, it looks like what it is. And that tells you something. It's like, okay, if you're going to go with this old guy thing, like, we're going to go with an old guy, why are you trying to dress him up like mid-'80s punk? You know? And why are you trying to make him all young? You should have just gotten a young guy then. And I'm going to come out and say it. Like, I think Capaldi was a stopgap Doctor. As great as he was, I think you were fixing something that wasn't broke. I don't think that anybody was having a problem with young doctors.
Right.
You didn't have to go like Matt Smith young again. And I know I'm still harping on this, but when this is done, he's going to go down as a meh Doctor. He's pretty good. But, like, you had such a momentum where you could have picked anybody to be the Doctor. We don't get into all the reasons for this, but the reason they picked Capaldi, in my opinion, was they wanted somebody who would stick around and not, you know, be thinking about, oh, I want to, you know, because the Doctor's going to make you big, and Matt Smith's always had a foot out the door. Turns out, though, Capaldi's like going to direct a couple episodes of Veep next year. The studio that they're filming Doctor Who's booked during the time they usually film it. They're doing Shakespeare. So, like, all the signs are there that we're not going to get a full season next year. And, it'll be interesting. Give me some other thoughts, Robert. What did you think?
Oh, I'm sorry. Cut out again. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, just tell me what you thought. Start rambling. Start talking about the episode.
So the episode, I like the sunglasses. Back to your sunglasses, I like them. I think they might be his. We've only seen them these 2 episodes, right? Just the last episode and this one. I think that the sunglasses and his guitar might be this Doctor's thing. It would have been cooler if they made the sonic screwdriver his guitar.
That would have been cool. I'd have been okay with that. And he can actually play the guitar. He's actually really good at playing the guitar. And I loved him coming out in the tank. I love that stuff. It's just I'm a huge fan of the sonic screwdriver, and I hate I hate trendiness being in Doctor Who. You know, he should be the trendsetter, not the I'm going to put in wearable technology and, you know, what's next?
Yeah, he should have.
Is he going to get a man bun?
Wearable
Sonic
technology
man bun?
before the iWatch for Google Glass.
Yeah, like I said, Sonic man bun. Is that next? You know, come on. Fuck that shit. So, I thought the 2 episodes are great, and I hopefully some of you guys will be able. Hopefully, I'll be able to put my edit somewhere where I won't get sued, where you can enjoy it. You know, I'll figure out a way. I think I could probably put it up on our YouTube channel and password protect it. So I'll give you a password. You can go find the link and pop it on if you want to see it. It will be professionally done. It's not like I did this on Movie Maker. I've got, you know, my Final Cut Pro, 10 going on, and I was working on it right before I started talking to Robert. So, what do you think? Let's wrap it up here with where do you think this plot bomb is going to take us this season? I don't think we're going to see the Daleks again this season.
No more Daleks.
No more Daleks.
I think we would, though. I think we'd see them with Missy again.
So you think Missy will come back this year? I haven't seen any scenes or anything.
No?
They've been really... Well, I'll give them this, though. They've been really tight on, like, if you go look at their trailers, Robert, they really show the same shit over again, and it's from the first couple of episodes. It's not really... Actually, these next 2 episodes, Before the Flood and Under the River, or whatever, it's Under the Lake.
Right.
Most of the footage is from these 2 episodes. By the way, big news here. If you're a Slipknot fan, the lead singer of Slipknot will be voicing the villain of the next 2 episodes, the Fisher King.
Oh.
Who's actually going to be played by be played by some tall British guy. Not the Mountain, but some tall British guy.
Yeah.
And what there was some interesting... This is supposed to be a pretty scary episode. Like Waters of Mars scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you watch Waters of Mars today? There's a big NASA discovery today that everybody fucking knew that there was water on Mars. And you know, all that, you know, because all the riverbeds and all the cracked rock, like it was clay underwater, wasn't evidence enough for them. They needed to actually find it chemically. They said, okay, that's fine. But it's pretty obvious there was water on Mars.
Frozen ice caps.
The ice caps, turned out they are probably water, you know, and not hydrogen or whatever. Or maybe they're a mix. I don't know. But did you see Waters of Mars? I didn't, but, you know, I thought about it a lot today.
I did, yeah.
Like, don't touch the water.
Yeah, when I saw that post, that's immediately the first thing I thought of. And then I saw a post from... David Tennant's fan page. It showed the same thing. Waters on Mars.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we just wanted to give us our thoughts and our prayers for Doctor Who. It was a wonderful episode. Well done. Great directing.
It was very, very thoughtful. Very intense dialogue. Right? It wasn't very action packed like episodes were.
No, and that's cool because you don't need to be action packed if you're intelligently writing stuff and it's well acted, and Clara was great, and Missy steals the show. I mean, you can't have her in every one, but she is like. She's a godsend to this new series. You know, I think she's probably one of the most popular characters. And I think they're going to make her like more... She's going to be like Doctor's homicidal friend. You know, and that's basically what the Master is. It's not an enemy. It's a homicide. I have a really... It's like that your friend who's like... your alcoholic or your drug addict friend, or it's just like he's been your friend. You knew him since childhood. You try to rein him in. You give him a place to sleep once in a while, but eventually he's going back to rehab. You know, so yeah. All right. Well, any other thoughts, Robert?
What did she say? Make your own stick. That's
Make your own
Yeah.
GD stick, Clara. I love that opening scene. That was very cute.
Right.
Consider the Doctor. You know, and I for one.
Oh, they showed the fourth Doctor too.
Oh yes.
that
They showed
like a little
Hartnell
circle.
too. When that little scene, where the little flashback scene, which I think that comes into play later. And basically they explained how Clara and Missy didn't die. And it was basically timing the energy from your vortex manipulator with your sonic screwdriver, which he's gonna need, and that's how he was teleporting.
Right.
So, but then he fell as he got away, and they were doing that thing, and he's all, "Oh, did he get away and win the day?" No, he fell into a pit of vampire monkeys, which was funny as hell, dude.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
See, I'm a fan of the Daleks. Okay, this show is named after the cult of Skaro, you know. So I hope there's more Daleks. I love me some Daleks. These are Asylum Daleks, by the way. If you could, I'll show the camera here, and I'll show the camera here. You can see the little stamp from the Asylum, and this one talks, I think. Oh, I took the battery out. I always take the batteries out of these things. Oh, there we go.
Oh. It's saying I love you.
It is.
Scanning now engaged. Surrender or be exterminated. Daleks conquer and destroy. Exterminate.
That's it.
Exterminate.
Yeah, I just the 3.5-inch figures, not a fan. I mean, I collect them because I'm a completist, and here's the 3.5-inch TARDIS with the semi. I guess we're getting a new TARDIS interior. I think they've just been tweaking the Matt Smith one that we've seen since the Snowmen. I think they've just been tweaking it more and more because it's the first time they've had a full set where they can do 360-degree, scenes in there. But I predict Clara is gonna. I don't think they're gonna kill her because Jenna Coleman has said the only thing publicly she said about her departure is that it's cool. I don't think there's really anything cool about death, but I think her departure will happen mid-season. Now I think we're gonna go timey-wimey, and she'll be in the full season, but I think her departure happens sooner rather than later, because I know there is one episode
then again,
where the
San
Doctor is
Francisco.
by himself. It's just the Doctor. There's no other actors in it, which will be very interesting. All right, man. Take it easy.
All right. You too.
Later, man.
Bye.
At last, the cult of
Frisco!